Across China, a curious phenomenon has emerged: sprawling cities with soaring skyscrapers, pristine parks, and expansive shopping malls, all eerily devoid of inhabitants. These are China's ghost cities, colossal monuments to unbridled ambition and economic miscalculation. For years, China's economic engine roared, fueled by massive infrastructure projects and a seemingly insatiable appetite for real estate. But behind this facade of prosperity lay a troubling reality. Millions of apartments and homes stand empty, built on speculation and the promise of a future that has yet to materialize. The scale of this phenomenon is staggering, with estimates suggesting that as many as 65 million homes lie vacant. This equates to enough housing to accommodate the entire population of France. In this essay, we delve into the origins of China's ghost city phenomenon, exploring the economic factors that led to their creation, and the potential consequences for China and the world. The sheer scale of China's ghost city problem is difficult to comprehend. Entire districts lie dormant, complete with residential towers, office blocks, and shopping malls. Take, for example, the city of Ordos in Inner Mongolia. Once touted as a future economic powerhouse, Ordos boasts a sprawling museum, a colossal library, and a racetrack. Yet its wide boulevards remain largely deserted, and many of its buildings stand unoccupied. Similarly, the financial hub of Tianjin, located just a short train ride from Beijing, features a futuristic business district complete with a replica of Manhattan's Times Square. However, behind the glittering facade, many office buildings remain empty, and residential occupancy rates are strikingly low. These are just two examples among many, highlighting the vast scale of China's ghost city problem, a stark reminder of the potential disconnect between economic planning and actual demand. To understand the emergence of ghost cities, we must delve into the economic forces that fueled their creation. For decades, China's economic model has relied heavily on investment, particularly in infrastructure and real estate. Local governments, incentivized to achieve ambitious growth targets, have poured trillions of yuan into construction projects. Real estate, in particular, became a cornerstone of this growth model. Property ownership was actively encouraged, and the rapid appreciation of housing prices created a speculative frenzy. Developers, flush with cash and eager to capitalize on the boom, embarked on massive construction projects, often building far in advance of demand. This speculative bubble, coupled with a lack of affordable housing options for many citizens, contributed significantly to the rise of ghost cities. The result is a surplus of housing stock, with millions of units standing empty across the country. The over-reliance on real estate as an economic driver has had far-reaching consequences for China's economy. As the property bubble inflated, local governments became increasingly reliant on land sales to generate revenue. This dependence on land sales created a dangerous feedback loop, incentivizing further construction and fueling the speculative bubble. However, as growth slowed and the property market began to cool, the risks associated with this model became increasingly apparent. Local governments are now saddled with massive debts, much of it tied to real estate projects that may never generate sufficient returns. The collapse of major property developers like Evergrande has further exposed the fragility of the sector. This debt burden poses a significant threat to China's financial stability and raises concerns about a potential systemic crisis. Section 5. Ripple Effects: China's Property Crisis and Global Economic Uncertainty. The ramifications of China's property crisis extend far beyond its borders. As the world's second-largest economy, China's economic health has profound implications for the global economy. A sharp slowdown in China, particularly in the real estate sector, could trigger a domino effect, impacting demand for commodities, manufactured goods, and services worldwide. Already we are witnessing signs of this interconnectedness. The slowdown in China's construction industry has led to a decline in demand for raw materials such as iron ore and copper, impacting commodity exporting nations. Furthermore, the uncertainty surrounding China's economic outlook has made international investors wary, potentially impacting global financial markets and investment flows. Section 6. A consumer nation on edge. The impact on spending and confidence within China. The property crisis is weighing heavily on consumer confidence and spending. For many Chinese families, property represents their most significant financial asset, The prospect of falling home prices, coupled with concerns about the overall economic outlook, has made consumers more cautious about spending. This decline in consumer confidence is reflected in sluggish retail sales and a drop in demand for big-ticket items. Furthermore, the crisis has exposed the lack of a robust social safety net in China. With limited social security provisions and healthcare coverage, many Chinese families rely heavily on personal savings and property assets to secure their future. The uncertainty surrounding the property market and the broader economy is eroding this sense of financial security, leading to a more risk-averse consumer base. Section 7: Beijing's Balancing Act Policy Responses and Their Limitations. The Chinese government is acutely aware of the risks posed by the property crisis and has implemented various measures to stabilize the market. These measures include efforts to curb speculative buying, provide financial support to struggling developers, and encourage rental housing. However, the effectiveness of these measures remains to be seen. The scale of the problem, coupled with the deeply ingrained nature of the real estate sector in China's economic model, presents significant challenges. Some analysts argue that more drastic measures, such as debt forgiveness for homeowners or a significant increase in government spending on social programs, may be necessary to address the root causes of the crisis. However, such measures carry their own risks and could have unintended consequences for the Chinese economy. Section 8: Shifting Sands. Transitioning to a new economic model. In the long term, China recognizes the need to transition away from its reliance on investment-driven growth and embrace a more sustainable model. This transition involves shifting the focus from real estate and heavy industry towards innovation, technology, and domestic consumption. The government has outlined plans to promote high-tech industries, foster entrepreneurship, and boost domestic demand. However, this transition will be challenging and require significant structural reforms. Moving away from an economic model that has driven decades of growth will require careful planning and execution. Additionally, China faces increasing competition from other emerging economies, as well as growing geopolitical tensions. Successfully navigating these challenges will be crucial for China's long-term economic prospects and its ability to address the legacy of its ghost cities. Section 9: Conclusion: Navigating the uncertain future of China's ghost cities. China's ghost cities stand as stark reminders of the challenges associated with rapid economic growth and the potential pitfalls of an over-reliance on a single sector. The scale of the property crisis and its potential impact on the global economy have raised concerns among economists and policymakers worldwide. While the Chinese government has acknowledged the need for economic rebalancing and implemented various measures to address the property bubble, the path forward remains uncertain. Whether China can successfully navigate this economic transition, manage its debt burden, and avoid a full-blown financial crisis remains to be seen. The outcome of this challenge will have profound implications not only for China, but for the entire global economy.